share. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the Metamask wallet. Now, I have to say that Metamask is not my favorite wallet, but it's become such a common and almost ubiquitous wallet in the crypto world. It's very prevalent because Ethereum is obviously a very big project, and MetaMask is a wallet created by the Ethereum Foundation. And so it's a friendly wallet to anything that is built upon Ethereum. So when we talk about layer 2s and layer 3s, they are like projects that are literally using the Ethereum blockchain as their base layer, as their basically so that they can utilize what Ethereum have created for their own purposes. And in exchange, Ethereum get a clip of the fees of the transactions. We also got to give a little bit more preamble about that as well. I think it's important that we go into this a bit more because, excuse me, Ethereum is a smart contract layer 1, and we know that's very important for digital contracts, or not otherwise known as smart contracts. And so all the layer 2s that are built on it can also be smart contract enabled, and they exist because this is apparently this is the narrative. Now I can only assume this is true. Ethereum is quite slow in comparison to other blockchains. It is relatively slow, much like Bitcoin is also quite slow, and it is relatively expensive to send and receive and to swap using Ethereum. And that's because they say that it is like that because that preserves its decentralized nature. If it's, you can't have speed, apparently, according to them, you can't have speed or scale and full decentralization. So they have to sacrifice something. And in this case, they have sacrificed some of the scalability. However, the layer 2s and the layer 3s solve that problem, and they can make very fast and much cheaper transactions because the transactions aren't going through in real time. What they do is they batch the transactions. It's like they have like what they call a side chain, or like a batching service in the blockchain there, and all the transactions are held in this batch area, and then they are put through when the blockchain isn't so busy, or they drip feed them out. So it just means that basically the transactions aren't going through in real time. They are for all intents and purposes from our point of view, but from the blockchain records point of view, they are submitted to the blockchain in a delay, and that makes it fast. And in the blockchain world, when it's fast, it's cheap. This is a funny thing about blockchains, that the faster they are, the cheaper they are. The slower they are, the more expensive they are. So it's almost like taking that narrative of time is money. They've taken it to absolute literal sense when it comes to blockchain. And everything is time stamped. That's another feature of the blockchain, that everything is time stamped. So no one can fiddle with the transaction, but they can't also fiddle with the date. So if people are doing forensics, someone is trying to do a fraud, that's obviously the date is important. So that's sort of giving you a bit of a indication about Ethereum and layer 2s and layer 3s. And Ethereum is not the only, there's many, many other layer 1 smart contract platforms. What they essentially are is like a computing system within the blockchain. It's like an ecosystem within the ecosystem. And so, and Ethereum is sometimes referred to as the EVM, and EVM stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine. So it is like literally like a computing machine that is operating from within not just the internet, but within the blockchain space of the internet. So it is like I've sort of mentioned before, blockchain is protocol based. It means they are fixed codes and they run in a way they're programmed and they cannot deviate from that. And so essentially that is like a self-running computing system. That's what they are. Blockchains are like self-running, they're self-initiating, they're self-executing, they're even self-healing. They're self-healing in the sense that if there's an error in there, it will find it. It doesn't need a human to go, oh, there's a problem with the blockchain. The blockchain actually can solve the problems itself. And that's quite amazing when you think about it. And if you understand a bit about hologram theory, that the micro is within the macro, that also applies to blockchain. You can literally create fractals. Our nature is a fractal. And you may have heard of the Mandelbrot set. And what the Mandelbrot set is there's patterns in the universe, and they're constantly repeating and they're constantly replicating. And you see it in the like the shapes of the fern leaves. You see it in the spirals and shells. You see it in the Fibonacci sequence and the ratio, golden mean ratio, and phi. These are all mathematical formulas which actually translate as sacred geometry, and blockchain is based on the same basic premise. Ultimately, everything is based on energy, but energy is expressed in numbers. And really all the digital space is digital. You break down the word digit. I mean, we have digits on our fingers and our toes. Digits, what are digits? Digits are numbers. And so the whole digital space is all just numbers, predominantly just ones and zeros and letters, which ultimately translate to numbers as well. Numbers are more primary to letters. So I'm giving you a little bit of a spiel there just to give you some other, might be interesting stuff. Anyway, I'm going to go into my MetaMask. Now I've got it as an extension on my computer. It's the little fox here. How you get it onto the computer is you would go into, because I've already got it set up, unfortunately, I can't show you the absolute setup, but if you need it, there's plenty of plenty of videos on YouTube that can show you how to set up a wallet with the seed phrase. But, if anyone needs me to point them in a direction, we are going to do our own video, but there are lots of other videos out there that are quite good. But what you do is you go into these 3 lines and you bring up your menu in the browser and you find extensions here. And then you would, because I've already got it here, but you would go into, in this case, it's Brave Web Store. You'll have a Google Web Store. I think it's called Google, or You've got the web stores. It's where you can purchase these. These are like apps that get attached to the browser. So you would go in there and then you would search for MetaMask. And in here, if I put in MetaMask, there's only one MetaMask. Forget about these. It's just the MetaMask wallet. And you'll know it's MetaMask because it's got the fox face and it's got this address of metamask.io. If there was any other letters in there of the address, it is a fake MetaMask and you would not touch it. This is only for developers. You don't use this one. Sometimes what they can do is the scammers can put a fake extension app in the computer, and I've fallen for it. I know other people who've fallen for it. So you've got to be super careful that you are going to the right MetaMask. It's got you can tell that it's also some other clues. It's got 4,300 reviews, star view reviews. So that's quite a lot. If it was a scam, it would only be up there for days, maybe if they haven't got it quickly enough in weeks, but you would never have that many reviews, and it will not say metamask.io. So just bear that in mind. You must go onto the right one. But they're pretty good at cleaning up these scams now. They used to be very slow, and some of us got trapped in there. But now they seem like as soon as they come up, they seem to get taken down, which is good. So anyway, I've obviously downloaded mine. This is my extension here, and I've already opened it, so it's ready to be opened. And what you can do is I like to look at it as the extension. I've got used to that, but you can also use it on your browser with your whole screen. But when it does that, it changes. Sometimes I'm a little bit lost as to, but it can come up as a full screen if you want. And I can, sometimes it's kind of weird because sometimes it will automatically come up in your full screen and other times it won't. So I don't quite know why that is. And MetaMask can also be quite, do some really strange things. Like I've had mine where I've gone into it and then boom, it just disappeared and went black. It went blank and the whole thing disappeared and it was completely gone. And that might happen to you. It will happen in other wallets as well. At first, I absolutely panicked and freaked and thought that was the end of my money. But don't worry, it does that. It isn't gone. What you have to do is you have to go in and you have to restore your wallet again, what they call restore wallet. So when you're logging in, when you're first creating a wallet, it will tell you create wallet or restore wallet. Sometimes it will say import wallet. So if you already have a wallet and your wallet's disappeared, you just restore it or you import it, whatever the case may be, and then get your seed phrase where you need your seed phrase, because if you didn't have your seed phrase, you wouldn't be able to do that. So this is an exercise in self-responsibility, and we have to be super careful that we record that seed phrase and protect it at all costs. Put it in a dedicated notebook with your other cryptos. Otherwise, I can assure you, I know people who have lost their seed phrase, and some people who have lost a lot of money because of that. Because there's no support, there's no help desk, there's no one at the end of a phone to say, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll fix that for you." Yeah, will restore your wallet for you. No, the purpose of this is for your privacy and to have private money. So in that case, there's no third party involved. There's no human that has got your details. So that's why we have to be super careful. So I'm in the wallet now. Now there's a few things here at first that you think, God, there's not much to it, but there's actually quite a bit here. On the left here, you'll see this little tiny down arrow, and it says I'm on the Ethereum mainnet. So that means, see, what you can do with the wallet is you have all these other blockchain networks that you can add to your wallet. So in this case, Linear, I don't know what Linear is, to be honest. ZK Sync is a new blockchain that's based around zero knowledge proofs, which is a super, super private blockchain, which has got lots of advantages. And ZK technology is getting incorporated into lots of other blockchains now. And they're the ones who are behind the decentralized ID and the privacy of our ID and super transparent on transactions as well, but giving us that privacy. So this technology is, this, they don't tell you about this. This is what people who are worried about, CBDC and all that, this technology is snapping at its heels. And the more of us that adopt it, the more that the CBDC will fizzle out, or we will get real privacy with our CBDC because enough of us know, when enough of us know about the antidote to a central bank digital currency, we're kind of obviously run to that. And that comes with decentralized ID, ZK proofs, and other decentralized protocols like self-custody wallets. So when you piece all that together, and the more of us that adopt that technology, there is nothing that can happen to stop us. It's how I see it. And this is a constant evolution. So you have to get on the inside and do a lot of like difficult, painful stuff. But once you start learning it, then you start to see it, then you can start to really, you find openings and avenues that didn't exist before you got into this. You will find it's like going into a secret room and secret doors opening, and then you find a new avenue where you can, do amazing stuff. And I've found that when I've been researching blockchain, I thought, wow, this is the end of the line, and then suddenly a door opens because I've discovered something new that I can do. So I want to encourage you that it's boring. I know some of it is it's like pulling teeth, but anything that's going to come that's good for us comes with some effort and pain and issues, challenges, right? If it's going to get all dropped in your lap, you can guarantee it's not going to be that good for you, or it's not going to be very long lasting. It's going to be temporal, and it's going to be fleeting, and it's going to be here today, gone tomorrow. Whereas if we have to work for something like crypto, you definitely have to, it challenges you, but the rewards, I think, eventually will be immense for us. So anyway, these are all different networks. Now, MEV blocker is a really interesting one because I can click on that. MEV blocker is actually a way to give us more protection for our wallet as well. And if I just add the network, everyone should have their MEV blocker on. So, but I'm just thinking, yeah, I need to remember how to do it, because when my wallet did crash last time, you have to restore all these things. And I haven't got to that stage yet. Oh yeah, here we go. So what's happening here? There is an issue there. I don't know quite why. Let's see if it's added. I will let you know. I will put it out in a newsletter. We're going to do a newsletter soon. I will tell you. It's a very simple thing. Yeah. It just escapes me right now. Maybe if I go into here, you can sometimes just get it from the browser. Right. So, yep. So here it is here. So if I go to get protected, go to the wallet, and you do all the sign stuff so that then this is how a DApp attaches to connects and talks to a wallet. Okay, so I think it's done it actually. I maybe just need to do this one more thing. Okay, done. So there, you see, there's the address. Now I'm on the MEV blocker. So it tells me that I'm on it because it's highlighted down here as well. So that is just a little hack, if you like, that we can do because, you know, there is still a company behind this. You know, Ethereum has got a good decentralized technology, but you still got to take all the precautions that you can. And this is one of them where I got tipped off by a big Bitcoin investor who, you know, he's made millions in Bitcoin. And he says, if you're using MetaMask, make sure you use the MEV blocker. And so I took his advice because, you know, he's been in crypto a long time. So then anyway, so that is about the networks. But if you go here, other networks that that are very useful is the BNB chain. A lot of people need the BNB chain, and so what you can do is you can add it instantly by just clicking on it, and it's found a token in there. See, nothing ever gets lost if like if it disappears off your wallet. See, it just remembers everything because it's all on the blockchain. Everything's on the blockchain. So it's like written in indelible ink. It's like embossed, you know, in there. So this is one of the beauties of blockchain is that you can never get lost. And then look, I've got a few little tokens in there, nothing much. Another network that could be useful is Polygon. Now, Polygon is a layer 2. It's one of the busiest layer 2s built on Ethereum. And Polygon is also a good network to have. there's a few tokens in there. None of them have got any value though, so I won't bother importing them. But yeah. So this is what you can do. So now, but the main network you're going to be, oh, and Base is also a big network now. It's a newer one that's coming up. It's put out by the Coinbase exchange in America. Coinbase is really the only, well, it's not the only exchange in America, but it's the biggest by far, and it's probably the most regulated as well. So you probably want to really do anything wrong. But those are the main networks: Polygon, BNB, Base, Ethereum. And now I'll go back to Ethereum because that's sort of it's the main network. So you can't send crypto. Normally, you cannot send a crypto from one blockchain to another. But with MetaMask, what you can do is you can use this thing called the bridge. And the bridge will allow you to send crypto from one blockchain to another, as long as the network is in the actual wallet. So this is where, say, I can send from Ethereum, and I could say I'm going to send ETH, and then I'm going to send it to the BNB chain, and I want to receive BNB. So that's literally, it's kind of like a swap function, but it's a swap across blockchains, which is normally not that easy to do. A lot of our wallets do have this now. Ethereum, MetaMask never used to have this. They've just added this quite recently. But the wallets are becoming really, really super, more and more functions. And there's a term out there that they call it a super wallet, or super app, super DApp, as they sometimes refer it. And so, yeah, so basically the wallets are going to become more and more important for as our kind of banking place to go to get paid and to send payment. And then, there's a whole lot of other things where we'll be able to, in some cases, you can stake from your wallet, so you can earn from your wallet. You can, you can start doing more and more things from the one place. Whereas in the old days, if you were wanting to move around in the blockchain ecosystem, it was very cumbersome. So that's one feature of MetaMask. That's what that is. It's bridging your tokens across blockchains. The swap function is just when you're on the same blockchain. Like you want to swap, say, Ethereum for another Ethereum-based token, then that's just a straight swap. So like I could get, say, I actually got some USDC in there. I've got $36 in there of USDC. So what I could do is I could swap my USDC for an ETH. If I've got enough fees, I might be able to do that. And I'll send all of it. And then it fetches these quotes. It tells you, right, fetching quote. And then you can see, okay, so it's going to tell you how much estimated, pretty close, how much it's going to cost you to do that. And it's saying 42 cents are roughly an ETH, but maybe is maximum to 60 cents. They don't tell you exactly. They tell you within a range, and that's all dependent on how busy the network is. like I say, if it's busy, it'll go slower and it will be costing you more. When it gets really, really busy when the bull market really starts to fire up, those fees will be quite a bit higher. And that's nature of the blockchain. So they say, when the blockchain's running faster, you need more gas. You need more gas in your tank. And that's why they call it a gas fee, because it's gas for the blockchain. That literally, the crypto powers the blockchain. It's quite a funny way of looking at it, but that's how it works. So if I go swap, um, and then you just wait. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. Sometimes it can take a minute or two. And we'll just wait. This is the problem with Ethereum, is sometimes, some of these functions can be quite slow. But anyway, it's done it. And so now I've swapped my USDC and now I've got ETH, $39 worth. So it'll give you the amount of ETH at the top and it will give you the US dollar value underneath. And, I've had a few tokens in here, but I've siphoned most of them out because I just got tired of MetaMask. But it's still good wallet to have for certain things. And a lot of times projects want to use MetaMask. So if you're involved in a project, and you've got to use MetaMask to fund it or to get paid and that sort of thing as well. Up the top here, you see, this is my name of my account. I just called this one my main account. And but you can literally create multiple accounts. So you might have one for your partner and one for yourself. I could be like Tony's account, Jenny's account. Like my partner's Jenny, so I could literally control her money and mine all under the one wallet or one login. And so that's quite good in family situations. It's quite good when people are, parents are doing it on behalf of children and that sort of thing. And so to do that, I would just click add account, and I won't be importing it. But this is what happens when you're setting up a new account. This is what you go through at the very beginning. You'd either be adding a new account or you'll be importing an account, or you can add a hard wallet to it where you can literally plug the hard wallet in so that when your transactions are getting done, it's actually cloaking the transactions. But, I would rather just, I don't know how I don't know whether that's actually really giving you that much more security, to be honest. But hard wallets are great for cold storage. That's what they're really good for. But it is an area worth investigating. There's so many things you could go down and investigate. So to be honest, I don't know whether that's going to give me any more security, but it's worth looking at. But anyway, if I went to add a new account, I could just say I'll call it Spear, and then I'll create, and then it's done. I mean, the only difference is I'm not putting a seed phrase in. I've got my main seed phrase for the whole wallet, and that is a master. That's the master phrase, the master seed words. And so this makes it convenient and easy to set it up like that. Yeah, so that's what the accounts are, and you can edit them if you want. If I wanted to edit it, these little three dots over here, if I go in there, you go into account details, and then I could change the name. And this is also the wallet address here. So you could use the copy squares if you're actually going to want to receive money. into it, you would copy this address and send it either to yourself or to your friend. If someone's going to send you money, I'd copy of that and then you would send it to them. And then this is a receive only address. And then when they send you the money, it'll obviously arrive. So, or you can copy the address up the top here. So this address is a master address. There's not separate addresses for each token. Like, so USDC, USDT, all of these tokens will use that address. Whereas in other wallets, you will be sometimes having to have a separate address for each token. But because these are our Ethereum, remember these tokens are built on the Ethereum blockchain, they're using the one master address for Ethereum. So I know that this is lots of little detailed information. I am recording this. As this is a Wednesday session, it will go to video and you can go and watch it in the back office of your members account in your account. Or, you know, if you want, you can ask me and I can send it. But I really encourage you to go into the our website and you can see there's tons of stuff in there in the webinars section in your members area. So yeah, so that's just you always use the copy squares. You cannot go wrong then. You cannot copy and paste it incorrectly. The copy squares, these little gray mirrored squares, very important for so. And when it says address copied, or sometimes it might say copy to clipboard. And I've had people say to me, "Where's the clipboard? I can't find the clipboard." It's an etheric clipboard. It's now held in the computer on the copy, and then if I wanted to paste it, you know, I just go to say I go to I'll just go anywhere. I'll go into my notes and I create a new one. And then it's Command V. So it's pretty universal. I think Command C is copy, Command V is paste, and that's how you paste. So just I know some people are not so versed in the you know, in the technology of that. So I just want to just show you that. Yeah. So coming back to the wallet. So over here, we've got these three dots here, and then there's a whole bunch of other information in there. This is where, you know, this is where I think it's good for you when you're starting out to get to know how to navigate the wallets. All these little dots and dashes, a lot of people don't even see them. So that's why I'm drawing your attention to it. There's actually tons of information here, but it's not right in our face. And I know a lot of people look at the screen, but they cannot see what I'm trying to point to. So I know it's you know, it's like it's like anything. You don't know what you're looking at until you see it. So so go into account details. This is just my main account. This is just the, you know, what we just showed you. View on Explorer. So etherscan.io is the place where we go. If we have sent money and it hasn't turned up, or we think we might have used the wrong address, or it just is a delay or something, what you can do is you can copy your address, and it should still be on my clipboard. You can copy the address into the Etherscan and it can tell you it gives you some clues as to what's happened to your money. And this is the beauty of blockchain, is they're all searchable. And this is where the transparency comes in. And you see, like, this is all the transactions that are happening. And in this case, I think this is my wallet, I think. But if up here, see it says my wallet. It's pulled up my wallet address. Because I clicked on it from my wallet, it's automatically recorded it, right? And these are all transactions that I have done. It's either the swap, or it's money coming in, or it's money going out. See, it says in, out, 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 out. A lot of outs because I was moving my money out to a different wallet. Yeah, so there's and you can go down and you can view all transactions. So what you want to do is you want to find, this is the wallet it's from, that's my wallet, but then it tells you the wallet is it going to yeah, some of it still is like double Dutch to me as well. But if you start going in there, I have been able to figure it out by searching around. But this is all the out wallet. This is all the this is where it's going to. It says 0 ETH. I think that's because I wasn't sending Ethereum. I was sending in another token, so it doesn't show. But if I click on that, it tells me the contract. So I think that is the contract address of the token. That's not the wallet address. It's a contract address. So I have sent this XLR. Yeah, so like I say, sometimes I'm still learning this myself. So it is such a blast of information. But anyway, if anyone does think they've lost their money, you can use this, and you can actually can find the address of the wallet your money went to, and it may not get your money back, I'm sorry to say, but you can often some of these problems can be fixed, or it can it happened to one of us in our community recently where the money went to the wrong wallet, but we were able to trace the wallet and we were able to get the money back. But that was very lucky. But normally, if you are sending money to the wrong blockchain or you've sent it to the wrong address, it's usually gone. But not always. So the Etherscan, and every blockchain will have their own address. This one's etherscan.io, but there is you've got I think it's BTC scan for Bitcoin or something like that, or Bitcoin scan. There's or Block Explorer, I think it might be, and then every blockchain will have a scan site that you can look for. You can see all the transactions on your wallet, and you can see everything on the blockchain. So if I go back in again, go back to the dots. This, I'm not quite sure. Connector sites are now permissions. This is your control panel for managing permissions given to connected sites and installed snaps. So these are dApps that I've connected to. These are projects where I've like Join Commonwealth is a peoples-based capitalist venture firm where we can invest in new startups on the blockchain. Six Society is a investing group that I'm in, a investing community that some of us are in, which is amazing. It's quite an amazing project, that one. Uniswap is a decentralized exchange where I've gone into Uniswap. So that's a way to exchange a crypto for another crypto. And you could say that one is a better place for exchanging cryptos in many cases because it can be cheaper. And this is where you can go to stake your tokens as well. As where you can earn income off the decentralized exchanges. because you provide the liquidity, you provide your crypto to them, and then you get a tiny fee every time someone does a transaction. You earn off the transaction fees. That's one of the big ways how we earn passively. So that is very, very cool. So once you get into crypto, you'll, as I say, it's like going down a corridor with a lot of doors, and you can go into these areas, and they are private, they're encrypted, they are, and offer some amazing potentials for earning and stuff. Yeah, so there's different other so these are all, as I say, they call them dApps, decentralized apps, which are like a mini website based on the blockchain. So websites now are going to go, all browsing soon will be done on the blockchain. So that's called permissions. Expand view, that's just so this is how I look at it in the whole browser. So now I can see the wallet. You can see the wallet in a big view. It's useful. And you can see everything there much clearer. And then snaps, I'm not sure what snaps are, to be honest. I have no idea. So we'll move on. They say support here. Sometimes you can get support. But if you are going to use support, be prepared for a wait, and maybe you won't even get anything. You may get a response, but you never ever share your seed phrase ever to anyone, no matter who they are. They say they're an official support person. Like, it happens a lot on social media, on Telegram, and any social media where you might be in a group and you say, I've got a problem. Quite often you'll get a message from someone saying, oh, I'm the support for, how can I help you? And blah, blah. Just ignore them. Do not ever take unsolicited advice. Don't ever, ever give your seed phrase out to anyone, no matter who they are. If they are true, genuine support, they'll say, I won't be, I don't need your seed phrase. I don't want your seed phrase. So yeah, basically never give that out. But this is good that they've got this. When I started in crypto, there was no support at all, pretty much. That they are getting better because they know for the masses to come in, there's going to have to be support. But it's at the moment, it's still a bit limited. Then settings, so we go to settings, and this is where you're going to have a ton of stuff. I think we're only going to have time for this one wallet today. So we will continue on. There's other wallets that we can explore, and there's tons of things that we can explore. So we just want to make sure that you get a good grounding in this thing before we move on to the next. So here it's got general, so you're just choosing always I use US dollars because everything's quoted in US dollars. You're buying and selling in US dollars, so you might as well stick to that. I use ETH as my primary currency. It's in English. This is just the light, light and dark. Go dark, go light. System is obviously light as well. Then you can go down to advanced. State logs contain your public account addresses and sent transactions. So you can actually use this to discover all your transactions. Clear activity and nonce data. This resets the account's nonce and erases data from the activity tab in your wallet. only the current account and network will be affected. Your balances and transactions won't change. So if you wanted to clear your activity, you could. Turn on smart transactions. I've got that one on. You don't really need to show any of these other things. You could show the extension in full size view, like I guess that's like this if it wanted to. You could put an auto lock timer on your MetaMask before it becomes locked. I've got it set at 0 because, you know, you don't want to leave it open for too long. So just keep that one at 0. You can back up data like your contacts and preferences if you want. Yeah, so, and you've got the ETH sign request. If you enable this setting, you might get signature requests that aren't readable. By signing a message you don't understand, you could be agreeing to give away your funds and NFTs. So yeah, so keep that one off. Then contacts, I haven't got any contacts, but what you can do in contacts, if you're regularly sending crypto to a common wallet or quite a bit, then you can build a contact. You can say, oh, this is my Atomic wallet or my Exodus wallet. And then when you're sending it, instead of copying and pasting the address, you go to your address book and you'll just choose your preferred wallet by the name. And it's not, you don't have to worry about the copying and pasting every time. So all wallets will have that. Most wallets I have a lot of what this has. This is where you can, if you lost your seed phrase, you can go in and find it and get it again. If I lost this computer or got stolen and you lost your seed phrase, then you lost your money. But the beauty of this is that you can get it back. You can locate it again, as long as you haven't lost your wallet or it hasn't crashed on you. So that's why you must keep it offline in a written form. I keep them in a handwritten form in a couple of places, and I've got them in my password manager as well, an encrypted password manager. Security alerts. I think it's always a good idea to keep the security alerts on. I keep profile sync off. Don't need to worry about that. Use phishing detection. Yes, I agree. You should use that. Decode smart contracts. Yes, I keep that one on. Show balance and price checker. Yep, keep that one on. I've got the MEV blocker. So these are the networks. You can add a custom network. That's a bit more for more advanced people, but I can add in a custom other blockchain. That's a blockchain that's not listed in the default settings. You can actually add in a kind of obscure one if you wanted to. Don't know what that is, but I just think probably a good idea to keep it on. Yep, keep that on. Auto detect tokens, keep that on, definitely. Display NFT media, auto detect NFTs, keep those on. NFTs, we will go into what NFTs are at some stage soon, because NFTs is something I haven't really gone over much. So that's given me an idea of another topic, actually. Yeah, and I keep all of these other things on down here. So this is all in, but they aren't vital. But it's a good idea for you to go into your wallet and do this at some stage, just to get familiar with it. Alerts, keep your alerts on. These are the networks that we've kind of looked at. experimental, I don't think these aren't that important. A lot of these, the odd one is, but a lot of these aren't really that important, to be honest. And when they come up, these, I haven't even really ever looked in this before, but they will come up usually in a default setting is usually perfectly fine. I mean, I've been using this wallet for a few years now, and yeah, I've never even drilled down this far myself. So yeah, it's good to go and do it. And then, yeah, so this is just sort of more links about us, privacy, terms of use, support, contact, and that. And they have a website as well. So yeah, it's good to sort of go through all that and sort of update you on the lowdown there. Yeah, so also just quickly finish off. You can buy and sell in the back of the wallet using a credit card. It's a bit onerous. It's not a way I suggest you buy crypto, to be honest. I really think that we should be buying it more privately through brokers, or I'd rather a centralized exchange, because this is an expensive way to buy your crypto. It's only if you really tried all other avenues and it hasn't worked, or you want to do this way. But yeah, I just think kind of, yeah, kind of avoid this if you can. But yeah, this is a way where you can go in there and you got to supply all your ID and a whole bunch of questions that are quite invasive, to be honest. I mean, this is offshore, but still, I just don't like having to do that. It just turns me off. Some of the questions are, asking you for all different, quite, personalized stuff. So send, this is obviously when you send, you hit the send button and you say you can use it up here, or you can click on the actual token. And then you'll just put the receiving address in there. And yeah, basically, and then you just go from there. I just, I could actually just put an address in as sending it to myself, basically. But yeah, you just put that in, and then you're, I'm say sending ETH and continue, and then it's going to charge me 0.4 of 4 cents to send nothing to myself. So I won't do that. But that's where you send, or the other way to send is you just click on the token and then you send from within the token. So that way you're sure you're sending the token you want to send. Swap is, I showed you swap. That's where you can just swap within that network you're on only, whereas the bridge is across networks. And portfolio, I think this is just showing you the portfolio that I hold. Not sure. So yeah, don't need to really worry about that. I think it's just going to show all my portfolio in a sort of a different setting, so it's really irrelevant. It's oh, I see. I think this is where you can see all the tokens. This is the whole. So it's gone very dark here. Just a sec, I'll put the light on. This is where I think you can search up a token that you might be looking for, and you might want to add it to your wallet. That's what that's for. And it should have a search in here. Search for a token up here, and this is where it's got all the Ethereum tokens, all the layer 2s and layer 3s, And so if you're looking for a token, that's where you go to find it. So that's basically, yeah, basically that's a fairly intensive session on MetaMask. So what I'll do is I'll shut these down. And the sort of frustrating and bizarre thing for us is also that when you're there's a lot of similarities with the wallets, but there's also a lot of differences. And unfortunately, yeah, each wallet has its own unique way of working. There are obviously sending and receiving is much the same, but again, there can be idiosyncrasies there. The fees can be a problem sometimes when you're sending crypto out. You often might get trapped by not having enough fees. But this happened to me a lot on MetaMask. So that's why it's good to have some Ethereum in there so that you can send and so you can swap or you can send without any restrictions. And you've got to keep it sort of topped up if you're doing quite a few transactions. Obviously, at this point in your development, I'd say you're probably just right at that stage yet, but just bear that in mind that there are lots of other things that can trip you up, and fees is often one of them. And getting the amount of fees and getting the right fee, because different tokens are going to charge, some take the fee out of what you're sending, which makes it easy, and others want a separate token. Like in the case of sending a layer 2, for instance, say I was trying to send Polygon, I think the fee is in Ethereum. And so you've got to have Ethereum. This is why Ethereum token is quite, why the price is probably quite high, because there's a demand for it for that purpose. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. It's going to be another fire hose of information, but unfortunately, there's no other way to do it.